Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Chaffee here. Weather in 5 days and 5 minutes on this Tuesday as we take a little bit of a break in between weather systems, but we're not exactly in an ideal spot here. There's a stalled frontal boundary to our south, not just offshore. This is as of the 2 a.m. this morning from the analysis from the Weather Prediction Center. And then we've got low pressure in southwest Missouri. That is heading northeastward and is going to be the next player here. Meanwhile, as we take a look at the satellite, there are still some clouds sitting overhead. They might thin out a bit this morning, but I think we're going to see clouds then increase as we go through the afternoon because here comes that next storm system as it moves along toward the east. And it's fairly well defined on the radar in terms of the showers. This is as of 6:40 a.m. Eastern Time. You can see that arc of showers from Iowa swinging back to just west of Chicago and going southwest from there, and that is going to be moving to the east. This is going to become a bit more less organized as it moves eastward. This storm has reached its peak already, but it's going to slowly weaken rather than weaken rapidly, and I think we're going to have to be dealing with patchy rain or showers as it goes by. So the Storm Prediction Center for today, the risk areas move east. We have a slight risk from northern Kentucky northeast into southwestern Pennsylvania. You can see the marginal risk goes from northeast Texas all the way up into the western half of PA, and also a small area of marginal risk in southern Virginia, south central, southeastern Virginia, north central, northeastern North Carolina under a marginal risk, and a larger area of general thunderstorms. Now, for tomorrow, the risk goes back into the southern plains and into West Texas, where we have a slight to enhanced risk. Again, this comes with a 10% tornado risk, by the way, and a 30% risk of large hail of 1 inch in diameter or larger in that hatched area that you see there. So we're talking big hail here. And then on day 3, as we move eastward, the risk areas shift east into the lower and middle Mississippi Valley with a slight to enhanced risk there. And the marginal risk is extending as far east as Alabama and as far west as central Texas and as far north as central Illinois and southern Ohio. And in the long range, predictability is considered too low on day 4 and 5, but you saw on days 6 and 7 we have central plains risk of 15%, which would equate to a slight risk. As far as rainfall is concerned, there hasn't been really too much change in the forecast from the folks over at WPC. This is valid from this morning, 7 a.m. till 7 a.m. next Tuesday, looking at a half to 3/4 of an inch around New York City and points north and west. You start to get to 3/4 of an inch to an inch as you go further south, and an inch to an inch and a half from Delaware down into Virginia, North Carolina, and then northwestward into Ohio, back through Indiana, and then another big area in Oklahoma of 2 to 3 inches, and some heavy rains up in the Pacific Northwest. So we're still dealing with the same situation with regards to what we were talking about yesterday, particularly with the system for the end of the week and whether it gets suppressed or not. And I think that I'm starting to think that we're probably going to see, most of the areas probably going to see some rain out of this. And I'm also thinking that with a little luck, we could see improving weather conditions on Sunday, Mother's Day, with decreasing clouds and maybe increasing sun as you head more toward the northeast and less to the southwest. And I'll get to that in a moment. But here's for today, we're looking at arriving or redeveloping clouds. Temperatures are going to be cooler at the shore with a wind off the ocean, 50s to low 60s. Western New Jersey and points west and south will be in the upper 60s to mid 70s. Then you see the low comes east with some showers tonight. Nothing crazy here into tomorrow morning. Looks like it has a tough time reaching the coast. And then they gradually move on out as the low moves offshore tomorrow late in the afternoon and evening. Thursday, I think, is the one day that we could call the best day of the week weather-wise, because we will be far enough in between two weather systems that I think we'll see some sunshine and temperatures in the mid 60s to low 70s away from the ocean. So if you got things to do outdoors, Thursday's the day in the east. And then here comes the next weather system. And again, It's all pretty much straightforward with the low that's going to be going across the lower Ohio Valley. We've got rain coming in by Friday morning. It gets enhanced a little bit and pushed northward. The low slides pretty much straight east. Rain lingers into Saturday morning, and then as that high to the north starts to push southward, that low gets suppressed, and that's why I'm thinking that maybe we'll start to see some drier air come down here from the northeast come Sunday. That's something to consider here because sometimes that happens. If the low pulls far enough south, you can get drier air to come down on a northeast wind, and as a result, you'll see improving weather conditions over New England, gradually moving south and westward. Sometimes that could make it fairly far south and westward. Sometimes it gets hung up, and that is a short-range weather problem. I'll just take a look at the European real quick to see if it's on the same page. And the European seems to be perhaps a little less suppressed here. Does kind of have the same idea with the rain coming in that's a little slower. The low a little further north initially anyway, taking that rain coming in later Friday night into Saturday, and then gradually starting to sink southward. But even Sunday morning, there's still some leftover rain over Delaware and Maryland, so it's taking a longer amount of time for this idea of suppression to come in and maybe improving weather conditions settling in for Sunday. And by the way, while we are in the situation where we've got an east wind or a northeast wind later Friday and Saturday, it's going to be raw out there. Temperatures are probably going to be along the coast. Some places probably will have a tough time getting above 50, and just inland of the coast, it'll be in the low to mid 50s. That just sort of cloudy, raw, rainy, damp type of situation. Doesn't look like this is a soaking heavy rain of several inches. The slow doesn't look as very organized. It does appear that we could get into a little bit of wind here along the coast Friday night, and particularly during the day Saturday. The gradient gets a bit tight along the coast of Delaware northeastward to southern New England and Long Island. So maybe there might be borderline gales with this right along the immediate coast. And more than likely, probably some coastal flooding with that easterly fetch that starts to develop during the latter part of Friday and then increasing Friday night into Saturday. So we'll have more on this tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show, which is at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So be sure to tune in at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for the Joe and Joe Weather Show on my YouTube channel, which is called Joe Chaffee. Have a nice day.